right, guys, we need to talk. All right, sit down, grab your refreshments and your snacks, because we're gonna talk about Doctor Strange too. Now, before we go into this, spoiler warning for anyone that has not seen the movie. Um, I will be going in depth. Spoilers. All right, here's your warning. Okay. For those of you that are still here, can we just talk about how freaking amazing that movie was? Oh my gosh. I don't know where to begin. Sam Raimi is a freaking genius. This is exactly what we needed for a Doctor Strange movie, okay? First of all, visually, it was great. I mean, okay, I wouldn't say great. It was really good. Not the best I've seen from Marvel, but given what they had to do, it was really good. Like, really good. And I loved the trippiness that they tried to do, as well as the horror aspects. I mean, you could tell they were really trying to get to horror without actually getting to horror, which was great. Loved it. It was actually, they did it very well. A couple of jump scares didn't get me, but it was just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? The cameos, the freaking cameos. This shows that Sam Raimi knows what he's doing, and people actually listen to the fans. We finally got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in the flesh. Like, I've been, for years, I've been saying he would be the perfect choice for Reed Richards' Mr. Fantastic, and we finally got to see him on the big screen. Now, does this mean we're going to get him in the Fantastic Four movie? I have no clue. I would hope so. I think it would be a huge missed opportunity for them not to do it, essentially because he's technically, that's him, that's his alternate, and they all look essentially more or less the same, you know? So that was great. Professor X, we all kind of knew was coming, but still was great to see the X-Men 94, you know, the cartoon Professor X there. And I love the whole, whenever he used his powers, he did exactly what he did in the cartoons. Loved it. Was great. We got Black Bolt. We finally got justice for Black Bolt. Well, for a little bit. With his costume was great, and I just loved what they did with him. Though it wasn't much, but they did something with him. You know what I'm saying? The Illuminati roster was freaking stacked, man. Loved it. Captain Carter, she's Billy Atwell's always been my freaking crush, dude. Huge crush on her. Love her. And she was great, you know? I mean, for what she could do. But yeah, I think what this means is, like, the X-Men, I could be completely speculating, but the X-Men 94 cartoon, the Inhuman show, maybe even the Fantastic Four show from like Nickelodeon are all in that one universe. I could be completely stretching that, but I mean, those are the versions of it that are there, you know? Regardless, freaking great. There was just so many things, so many great things about it. Like, the action was great. The story was actually very well paced for the most part. Like, I wasn't bored. There was always something going on. And I loved that. I love that about movies, where it keeps you interested, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and keeps you not having to catch your breath, you know? When you see movies that have portions of it that are just boring, like a snooze fest, terrible pacing, like it's not fun. It doesn't make the movie fun, no matter what it is the purpose of that is. You know what I'm saying? This movie was just, it left me breathless. This movie was for the nerds. This movie was for the Marvel veterans. And I don't mean MCU veterans. I just mean Marvel veterans. For anyone that grew up with the cartoons, the comics, the shows, whatever. This was for them. There was so much homage to it. But at the same time, this was for MCU fans. For anyone that's into this kind of stuff too. It was a perfect blend of it. You know, the Illuminati roster, that was the peak. You know, that was essentially all the nerdism for us vets, and it was worth it. We're being completely honest. Totally worth it. I feel like me as a fan, and I speculate, and everyone else speculates, it did overhype the movie with all that speculation. But if you went in fresh eyes with only seeing one trailer or no trailer, this movie was going to be great. Sure enough, was. The only there was only a couple of things I didn't really like about the movie. There's a couple of cringy moments, some lines that they say, you know, and I'm just like, can you not say that when you're in the middle of a fight? That's really, really dumb. But it was also total Sam Raimi. Like, you could tell this was a Sam Raimi movie, 100%. I didn't really like Wanda as the villain the entire movie because it felt dragged a bit. I did like her as the antagonist. I was hoping that maybe Nightmare or whatever that creature was be the main antagonist. She was like the backup, but in actuality it was reversed, you know what I'm saying? But her as, I don't know, it just felt pretty stretched with her as the antagonist the entire time. Though they did it pretty well. And honestly, I don't know what to expect next from Wanda, especially because she's confirmed to have her own solo movie coming out soon. And there's an Agatha Harkness show coming out. So big things coming from Wanda. I don't know what to expect, but it's going to be crazy. If this is any testament, I'm interested to see how the Darkhold has affected her. How it's affected Steven. I mean, he's got his third eye, which there's no explanation on how he got that. I mean, there's kind of a hint where you kind of have to connect dots, but there's no explanation how he got that or what the deal is with that. Speaking of things that also didn't make sense, who the frick was that lady at the first end credit scene? Charlize Theron? I totally butchered her last name. She just comes in there, like Psylocke, cuts a hole into reality, like, let's go do this. And he's like, all right, let's go do this. Like, who was she? Can someone in the someone let me know in the comments, please? I have no idea who she is. Okay, I'm just an average comic book goer. Be completely honest. The second end credit scene was pretty funny. It was a good old bamboozle, you know, gotcha. And I enjoyed that. But dude, there was just, I just saw the movie, like literally got home like 10 minutes ago and just saw this. It's so much to process in my brain. Like, I can't really put everything out on paper, so to speak. But I would, if I'm giving this a rating, I would have to give this probably like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10, to be honest. This was really good. Like, phase 4, take out Black Widow, which technically isn't phase 4, that was phase 3, but whatever. Like, phase 4 has been shaping up to be the best phase yet. Straight up, the movies have been peak, and this one, crazy. The effects of Loki, WandaVision, and Spider-Man have really affected this movie, and I don't know what to expect for the rest of phase 4. You know, I like America Chavez, by the way. She was great. I love everything about her. They did her very well. Kind of cringe when she could control her powers, but I mean, honestly, what more could you do at that point? Literally, she's the only one in the entire multiverse, which, unique power. Probably sucks to be the only one though, but whatever. But dude, oh, also with Wanda, they did her so well. Like, the aftermath of WandaVision to this was, she was hurting. She was hurting, and she got somewhat of closure. Not really, but it stopped her rampage. Also, speaking of rampage, freaking murked Illuminati like they were nothing. Rest in peace, Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic. She just completely disrespected those dudes. I was shocked. I was so shocked. Now, what didn't make sense was the fact that Agent Carter and Monica Rambeau, or not Monica Rambeau, her mom, but Rambeau Captain Marvel stood more of a chance against her. But then at the same time, I get it, because Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt specifically, are super overpowered. So if you really wanted to fight to drag out, you'd have to kill them first, you know? I just don't get how she didn't kill the other two also, you know? Completely murked Professor X pretty badly. Like, that was just, the entire Illuminati just got freaking murked terribly, you know? Also, when they had Rambeau's mom, or original Rambeau, as Captain Marvel, I was kind of disappointed, to be honest. There was two things I could have liked for that to be: the original Captain Marvel, like the one from the comics, the actual guy Captain Marvel. That would have been cool. Or Tom Cruise Superior Iron Man, or just Superior Iron Man in general. I think that would have been probably way better. It would make sense for the Voltron bots as well. Because those guys, or the Ultron bots being there, didn't really make sense. I didn't see any Iron Man around, you know what I'm saying? And that could make sense on how he was able to fight against Scarlet Witch longer. But yeah, dude, this movie was great. I would recommend it to anyone, to be honest. I'm not a horror fan, but this I could be cool if this went to like full horror vibes, like full horror movie. The vibes were there. It was great. Everything about this movie was just really good. Besides the ones I said earlier, you know. I could honestly talk about this all day, to be completely honest. But you know what? Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the movie, and you know, tell me what your thoughts are for the future of the MCU, for the future of characters. Sam Raimi, should we see more of him? Should we not? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know also in the comments what other movie reviews you guys want to see me do. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one. See ya.